Kyle Austin, Mike Griffith here at Spartan Stadium. Looking ahead to Penn State on Saturday after Michigan State's big win over Ohio State, and heard a lot of different topics today from Mark D'Antonio. What stood out to you?
Well, the Connor Cook, I guess we better just start with that. Still looks like a game time decision. Kind of figured that day to day. Talked more about Tyler O'Connor and Damian Terry. I did think it was interesting that he said that the way they played on Saturday had more to do with the weather than what he thought about their abilities to throw the ball. So I think that's interesting, something to keep an eye on if both of those guys play again. And then he kind of went into I don't know, a little bit of a rant, I guess, when a question was asked about finishing games or winning games at the end, and pointed out that it's been a long time since the quote-unquote same old Spartans tag applied to Michigan State. And I actually wrote about last year, so I'll say this. Actually, last year was the first year that Michigan State had finished in the top 25 after being ranked in the top 15 preseason. So they have shed the tag, but it wasn't as long ago as maybe D'Antonio indicated. I think he was talking more about, though, blowing games and things like that. And we get it, Kyle. This team has won double-digit games 5 out of the last 6 years. And, I don't have a problem with the question, and I don't have a problem with the way Mark D'Antonio answered it, taking up for his program, maybe trying to get some national respect for Michigan State.
Well, I think the question was about how they've turned that around, and it's acknowledging the fact that, yes, there was a time, and to me, not too distant past, that they were losing all these games. They were simply acknowledging that. Mark D'Antonio just seemed very adamant that, to him, that seems to be ancient history.
Outside of, I think he went back to 2009, so yeah. Outside of the 6-year window. So point was well taken. Mark D'Antonio feels good about his program. He feels good about the process here. He talked a little bit about that. Talked a lot about the seniors. Michigan State still has, kind of surprises me a little bit, Kyle. They still have tickets available. I mean, this is a team that's in a national championship hunt, having senior day, and they're selling tickets for $25 to try and make sure it's a sellout.
Well, I mean, that's a cold November day. I'm not totally surprised by that. I was interested. He did get asked about the playoff, and I don't think he's at a point where he's going to say, yeah, we won the Big Ten. But I think reading through the lines, that's how he has to feel at this point. I think that's how a lot of people feel. I'm not sure it's a complete done deal. I'd put it at 90% or so that they get in.
Yeah, if you win out, though, you look at the quality of wins, though. You're talking about an 8-3 Oregon, an 8-3 Air Force, Michigan, at Ohio State. You will have just beaten an Iowa team that's either undefeated or has one loss. Certainly a Penn State team that I think is pretty good at 7-4. And then when you look at the Michigan State, their one loss, it was on the road in a controversial ending. You want to match them up with Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost to Texas at a neutral site. Yeah. And I don't know if Oklahoma has as many quality wins, and Notre Dame for that matter, and the Irish don't have a conference title game. So for those reasons, I feel like you very, very strong. And I would say if MSU wins out, it's a done deal. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if they win out and they don't get in. That would to me just I wouldn't believe that.
I would be surprised. I wouldn't say I'd be shocked, because to me, you mentioned the other two. To me, as long as there's no major surprises on the rest of the way, it's basically 3 candidates for 2 spots. It's Michigan, Oklahoma, and Michigan State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame for those 3 spots. I think Michigan State does have one of the best 2 resumes there, but I keep going back, and maybe I'm totally off base on this, but the fact they left the Big 12 out last year, is there a correction this year where they don't want to do the same thing again?
No, I don't think they would want to do the same thing again, but I just think they'd be hard pressed to find out. Granted, and I've had people bring it up to me. Hey, last year they dropped Michigan State 3 spots in the final ranking and moved Mississippi State up, even though neither team played. So, we have seen, I believe, politics at work before. But boy, would that be a slap in the face to the Big Ten and Michigan State. I don't think anyone could see that coming. But then again, I don't know who saw Ohio State beating Wisconsin 59-0 coming either. I mean, it would just take, to me, bedlam, no pun intended, but maybe if Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State by 100.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I don't think that's going to happen, but people talk about it not being a possibility at all. I don't think it's quite that much of a done deal. So.
And I guess you never say never in this business, right?
No, you never say never. We were about to say never on Saturday morning, I think, and here we are talking about a Big Ten title still. So.
Right.
Well, that'll do it for this week. 3:30 p.m. Kickoff on Saturday here against Penn State. Mike will be here. I will be in California, so check out the basketball coverage at mlive.com/Spartans2 as Michigan State, number 3 in basketball, too, goes for another top 5 ranking. So that'll do it. We'll see you on Saturday. Stay with mlive.com/Spartans.